A story that will linger long after the last page. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is a tale of love, loss, and the price of immortality. Part 1. The packed Addie LaRue was born into a world that didn't understand her. Raised in a village where women were expected to marry and settle down, Addie was different. She didn't want to be bound by the expectations of her time, craving freedom, adventure, and a life beyond the confines of a small town. Her desires were more than just dreams, they were her soul's calling. But in the village, women were rarely afforded the luxury of choice. When Addie's father arranges her marriage to a man she doesn't love, she sees no way out. Desperate to escape a life she feels suffocated by, Addie makes a dangerous decision. She turns to the old gods, the ones that are forgotten by most, the ones who don't care about promises or bargains. She calls out to them in the dark, hoping for an answer. It is in this desperate moment that she encounters the mysterious being who answers her call, Luke, a devil-like figure who offers her a deal. He will grant her freedom and immortality, but at a cost. She will be forgotten by everyone she meets. No one will remember her once she leaves their presence. She will live forever, but in solitude, her existence erased from the minds of others. A life of endless freedom, but no one to share it with. Addie, heartbroken and seeking escape, agrees to the pact. She seals her fate with a kiss from Luke, and her life as she knew it vanishes. From that moment on, she is invisible in the truest sense, her name forgotten the instant anyone looks away from her, her legacy lost to time. Part 2. A life in solitude. The centuries pass, and Addie lives her life in the shadows, drifting through the world unnoticed. She experiences history firsthand, war, love, art, revolution, but all without the ability to leave a mark. She wanders through cities, through countries, through time, constantly seeking something, anything, that might make her feel seen. She becomes a witness to the lives of others, but she can never be a part of them. She loves, but the people she loves cannot remember her. She creates art, but her name is never written down. In the early years of her immortality, she finds herself in moments of deep despair, wishing she could undo the pact she made. She feels the weight of her isolation pressing down on her, the overwhelming loneliness of living in a world where she is unseen by everyone. But as time goes on, she learns to survive. She learns to adapt, to use her invisibility as a tool. She becomes a master of disappearing, of slipping through the cracks of society. She finds small joys in her endless wanderings, and slowly, she learns to live with the knowledge that she is both everything and nothing. Part 3. The stranger in the bookstore. Then, one day, in a small bookstore in New York City, Addie's life changes. She walks into the shop, hoping to find a moment of peace, and there, behind the counter, is a young man named Henry. He looks at her, and for the first time in over 300 years, someone remembers her. For the first time in her life, she is not invisible. Henry is a young man living in the present day, struggling with his own sense of purpose and identity. He is a struggling artist, unsure of his place in the world, weighed down by personal grief and regret. When he meets Addie, something inexplicable happens. He remembers her. He remembers her name, her face, everything about her. At first, Addie is confused, thinking she is simply having a rare moment of being noticed. But as they continue to meet, she begins to realize that something has changed. The curse has been broken. Someone, finally, sees her. Henry, too, is caught up in the mystery of Addie's existence. He is drawn to her in ways he doesn't fully understand, and as their bond deepens, he uncovers the truth of her past, the pact she made, the price she paid, and the life she has lived in the shadows. Together, they begin to uncover the depths of their connection and the consequences of Addie's immortal life. For Henry, knowing Addie means confronting his own deepest fears and desires, and for Addie, knowing Henry is both a gift and a curse. Part 4. The consequences of a deal with the devil. As Addie and Henry grow closer, the past that Addie has tried to forget comes back to haunt her. Luke, the dark figure who made the deal with her centuries ago, reappears in her life. He has always been there, lurking in the background, watching her every move, a constant reminder of the price she paid for her freedom. Luke is both charming and cruel, playing with Addie's emotions and making it clear that he has no intention of letting her escape the terms of their agreement. Throughout the novel, Addie grapples with her feelings for Luke, her captor, her tempter, her tormentor. She also faces the harsh reality of her immortality. The more time passes, the more she realizes the price she paid for freedom, a life without connection, without love, without legacy. Even as she finds someone who remembers her, she knows that she cannot escape the consequences of her deal. Part 5. A life of freedom and love. As the story unfolds, Addie's struggle to reconcile her desires for connection and freedom intensifies. She learns that love and freedom are not always compatible, and that the price of one might be the loss of the other. She begins to question whether she can ever truly be free of Luke and the pact she made. And as she comes to terms with her past, she faces a choice. Will she continue to live a life of freedom, doomed to be forgotten by all who know her, or will she sacrifice that freedom for a chance at lasting love and connection? In the end, Addie finds herself at a crossroads. Her journey has been one of self-discovery, of learning what it means to be seen, to be remembered, and to live a life of true purpose. The novel's closing moments are a reflection of Addie's ultimate choice, whether to remain invisible or to embrace the vulnerability of being truly known. Conclusion: The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is a poignant exploration of memory, identity, and the search for meaning in a world that often overlooks us. V. E. Schwab's lyrical writing and intricate character development bring Addie's journey to life, drawing readers into a world of magic, love, and the haunting consequences of making deals with the unknown. Addie's story is a testament to the power of persistence, of carving a space for oneself in a world that seems determined to forget, and the eternal quest to be truly seen. Thanks for watching, where every story leaves a lasting impression and every adventure is just the beginning.